Hello everybody. This is a interesting little video. So the way that I'm going to start this one out is a little bit weird. Obviously there's a little bit of a flipping clip. Have you ever wanted to flip like me? Yeah, so there are a lot of beginners that are starting out. There's a lot of videos, there's a lot of tutorials, obviously. So if you're watching this, here's another one. It's a little bit more of a condensed one, however. This one is more oriented towards beginners, so if I don't get as many views on this one, obviously, you know, it's cool. I'm here to help out the newer folk who are trying to start enjoying the hobby. And I just wanted to show off a few of the basic tricks that I would recommend to any, starting newbies. So, the first trick that I would recommend everybody learn is this. That is the basic open and close. It is a infinite trick, and contrary to popular belief, it is actually a trick, because I don't think that I can open any other knife like this, other than maybe a Gerber multi-tool, if it's really well oiled. Yeah, so the basic open should always be the first trick that everybody learns. It starts to get you a little bit more familiar with the process of how the handles actually swing. So there are no prerequisites for this. Obviously, it's very, very basic. But that doesn't mean that it's like super easy, especially not for people who haven't really done it before. People that are more experienced, like myself, often overlook the more or the less complicated stuff, as you know, we have other ways of doing it. Anyway, yeah, the basic way that you do that, here, I'll take a seat. Ooh. The basic way to do the basic open, right? It's a 3-count movement. You're going to start by grabbing the safe handle or the bite handle. It doesn't really matter, but the safe handle will make sure that you don't cut yourself whenever you throw it over your knuckles that second time. This is the bite handle. Obviously, the blade is right here, so if you throw it onto your knuckles, you're more likely to get cut. This one is pretty much completely dull, so I don't really have that. But, just explaining, this would be the bite handle, this is the safe handle, spine, blade, so you know the basic anatomy. The way that you do the basic open, you toss the safe handle from a closed position over your knuckles, probably making contact, and then you're going to do a slight spin using the momentum. You can kind of do this, right? So from there, it'll look like that. Then from this position, you're going to toss it over your knuckles again. The spine should be resting on your knuckles. And then you're going to stop it in this position, open your fingers, and then toss it and catch, right? Same thing in reverse. Knuckles, spin, knuckles, catch. So as you get more efficient, it'll stop being something like this, which there's nothing wrong with. Just 3 movements, and eventually you'll get it to be pretty smooth. You can open, close it, open, close it. And after that, you'll start to get a feel of how the handle wants to move, so you can start doing silly stuff, just like that. You can do 3 and it'll close. You can do 1 and close. Do whatever you want. So that is the first trick that I would recommend that everybody learn. The basic open, basic close. After that, There's a slightly more flashy, but also still not too hard one that I would recommend people start to learn. That way they can get more comfortable with their knife or trainer. Preferably whenever you're starting out, you have a trainer. But as a person who started with a live blade with serrations at the bottom, I mean, you could do what you want, man. um, it is going to be this. Sorry about that. There's a whole bunch of wind. It's a lot easier whenever you have a little bit more space to actually work with. You know, it's the basic aerial. You'll start to get a feel of how it like rotates in the air, and you can start to predict how the handles are going to move once you get it a little bit smoother. Um, and you could also do it in reverse. So the way that you do that, right, from your basic open, right, instead of doing the full, 3 movements, you could do 2. Drop it here. The knuckles should be around your finger, or the spine of the blade should be around your fingers, and then you're just going to do a arching motion like so, right? You're going to get that bite handle moving. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then that arch, and you're just going to let go, and then you're going to watch it, okay? You're going to watch that go around, and just like start to make sure that it's actually moving in a circular motion first. That way it needs to be flat. That way it's very predictable. And basically from this point, it's a trial and error thing. You want to start getting a feel for how long it needs to be in the air in order to, pinpoint when you need to stick your hand in. Because what you're going for is a full motion. Like this, you're going to put it in right after the blade, and then with the spinning of the whole thing, you're going to catch this one, and then the other handle is going to come in, and you're just going to catch. And eventually, you should do this. It may take a little while. Shouldn't take too long, but no worries if it does. If you feel a little bit more sketched out by doing this, because technically, whenever you throw it from the safe handle, it's going to be rotating this way, and there's a potential to catch the blade. But if you don't want to do that, then you can throw it from the bite handle, and as it's coming around, you'll see that if you do catch it by the blade, you'll catch the safe side. So there's no risk about cutting yourself. See? You'll catch the safe side. No worries. Just try again. Eventually you'll get it. I believe in you. Really, it's just a timing and trial and error thing. So go out there, try and throw it, see how it spins. Try not to throw it too fast, because it is a lot easier whenever it's slow and steady and just a little thing, So after that, one that I would recommend, which is kind of a weird one, is the chaplain first. That is what it looks like. It's this right here. And I think this one is one of the ones that really gets a lot of people into the whole art of flipping. It's one of the most common ones that I have been asked in person to actually teach. So I thought I would throw it in here as like a basic explanation how it works. So basically you'll start from an open position, and you will do like a small circle to start the momentum of the handle, like so. You want to kind of turn your knife sideways a little bit, right? Doesn't have to be like perfectly horizontal, but it should be about 45 to 90 degrees to the side. You want to, stop it on your index. And then what you're going to do is this. You can see that, it's resting like so, and there's more weight on this side. So it kind of wants to do this, but you should be able to do, just this. Rest it on your index, or you don't even have to start out with this. You could just kind of like open it, place it on your index, balance it like this. And then what you're doing basically for this whole trick is it's falling around your finger. So if you try and go like this, you'll see that it falls off. You want to go the opposite way that the blade actually is. That way there's more weight pushing it this way, right? So if the blade is on the right of your finger, you're going to go counterclockwise. And then if it's on the left of your finger, then you want to go clockwise. Otherwise, if you try and go clockwise with it on the wrong side, it'll usually fall off. So counterclockwise since it's on the right, and you want to slowly do this, just big circles. You're basically adjusting your finger to be around it, and then you slowly start to pull it in a little bit faster, more momentum, keep it out to the side, and then you slowly build up to these circles. And you want to make sure that you're doing full circles, like actual circles, not ovals, because it'll get really unwieldy. It will be super unstable if you're just going back and forth. You can hear that rattling and stuff. It also tries to jump up on your finger, and it's just super inconsistent if you're going back and forth. But with even general like ovals, it's a lot easier. But what you're looking for is full elbow rotation. You want to be kind of doing this and your wrist and your finger just a little bit. You'll get more comfortable with it the more you do it. But for full circles, it allows you to maintain that control and get them really tight. You can even see whenever I'm doing these tight chaplains, right? They're in a circle and my elbow is still moving. Maybe not my wrist so much, but I use my finger a lot. Yeah, and maintaining that control. You may not be able to do very many. I know that whenever I started learning chaplains, it was like, that was it. I can only do like one. One is fine. That's still a chaplain. You could do two, catch it. Actually, before we continue, the catch for a chaplain is like this. So you just bring it around, stop it with your thumb, right? Then you open your fingers, swing it back over like you're doing a basic open, like so. And then, boom, you caught your chaplain. So boom, bam, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if you do all three of those, right, even those three can get you a pretty cool looking combo, right? For example, boom, it doesn't have to be all the fancy stuff that you see all the more skilled creators do. Eventually, whenever you learn more and more, you can chain more and more stuff together in order to make something really complicated and weird. But flipping for the beginner is not usually this complicated. Like, there's a lot of steps that I've had to learn to even get to the level that I'm at, and I'm not on par with a bunch of other creators. But it all starts from the very beginnings. We've all been there, and we all had to learn these, It's the foundations of a lot of tricks that you learn, especially a chaplain. This guy is going to be your workhorse for a lot of stuff. Chaplain, 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 rollover, chaplain, chaplain, chaplains. I do use chaplains for a lot of stuff. There's different variations of them, and they're super cool to just add a little bit of flair to whatever you're doing. It's a very cool transition move, and yeah, pretty useful. But the basic open, the basic aerial, and a chaplain. Those 3 moves should be able to like help you on your way to learning more complicated stuff. And I'm going to leave that there because I know this is probably getting already a little bit too long for my general attention, but I hope that helped anybody out. I'm going to be doing more tutorials stuff. People in my poll seem to really like the thought. And yeah, I don't have anything much else to add to this video. I appreciate everybody for stopping by, spending a little bit of time with me. Let me know if these tips actually helped you. I could try a different format with my tutorials next time. Completely new type of thing, but I ran a poll and people said they wanted tutorials, so I can offer what I can, and I'll keep learning and sharing what I know. It's very important that we, in the community, help each other out, especially the newer folk, to, start and enjoy flipping. Because you never know when one of the newer people are going to suddenly get a massive skill boost and completely outperform every single other person in the hobby. It's really cool that that is even like a thing, but it's highly possible. There's a lot of creative people out there, and hopefully you guys enjoyed and continue to enjoy flipping. I will end this video here, and again, I say thank you for your time. Thank you for liking. If you did, you can hit that like button. Thank you for subscribing if you want to. 40 billion real soon, real soon. And leave any comments if you have any tips or what your experience with flipping is so far. I'm very interested in seeing the newer people actually, interact, see what they want to learn, see how they actually manage to learn, what their story is. I think it's all pretty interesting. Yeah, so just leave any comment that you want down there. That's what it's for. It's the internet. We can do whatever the hell we want, baby. Yeah, nothing else to add. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.